This is a good day. This is a very good day. Hang on. For the first time on the George Benson football channel, we can, yes guys, with over 100,000 subscribers. A massive thank you to each and every one of you. I was looking for some party poppers this morning, and then I actually thought that it would be the most egotistical thing ever to just sit here in my own room, pop in party poppers. I'm actually going to a party this afternoon. It's my friend's birthday, so I'll be celebrating there. But welcome back to the George Benson football channel. Welcome back to another video where we're going to be discussing today the background behind some of the business that Chelsea have already conducted in this transfer window and why it bodes very well looking into the very near future for Chelsea securing their other top targets. Now, if you've been living under a rock for the past few days, I doubt very many of you have, because social media has been absolutely blowing up. I've not been as active on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube in the last 3 days as I have at any period over the last 9 years of me doing this thing. Timo Werner joining Chelsea has sent the footballing world into delirium. Chelsea fans have gone delirious with joy. Rival fans such as Liverpool are just like, oh, we don't want him. Yes, you do. You're just telling lies because you're a wee bit salty. Very salty. Too much salt. We got him. But everybody is looking at what Chelsea are doing right now and thinking, this is reminiscent of Jose Mourinho's return. This is reminiscent of Roman Abramovich in 2003 coming in, taking absolutely no bullshit from anybody. We want this guy, we get this guy. That's exactly what Chelsea seem to be doing right now. And I want to bring it back to when we were in December and Chelsea were looking to overturn the transfer ban. You remember that thing? It seems like a long time ago now, this transfer ban. It was there, and Chelsea didn't sign anybody in January. After overturning the ban, everybody thought that Chelsea were going to be going out and spending hundreds of millions of pounds to bolster the squad for Frank Lampard. We now sit here, it's still kind of in the middle of a global pandemic called the coronavirus, something that nobody foreshadowed, nobody would have known it, but we still sit here quite pretty on the 6th of June 2020 in 4th place in the Premier League table, in an FA Cup quarter-final, with minimal chance of qualifying for the Champions League quarter-finals, but we're not knocked out regardless. So we're not exactly in the worst position, despite not spending any money in January. Now, I don't know if this is true, and it will take us some time to find this out, but one thing I would imagine is that Chelsea, behind the scenes, were speaking to Frank Lampard saying, what is your vision for the future? Instead of just focusing on what you'd like to have now in January, where do you see this Chelsea team in 3 or 4 years' time? I can imagine that Frank come around, and probably not on the telephone, he was probably face to face like we are now in front of the camera. Frank probably said something along the lines of, I want to build a young team of explosive, fast players who can play attractive football where we can change the formation depending on our opposition. Now, if there's one thing we do know about Frank Lampard as a manager, despite not having that many data points to go by, Frank absolutely loves changing things up. And I think that what we've seen from the Chelsea signings so far, we spoke about it in the video yesterday, both Timo Werner and Hakim Ziyech offer a lot of versatility to this Chelsea team to be able to play in different varying positions, which would of course cater for Frank's idea of rotational play, playing different formations and different styles in accordance to the opposition that we're playing against. So those conversations in January were probably something along the lines of, look, Ajax don't want to get rid of Hakim Ziyech right now, but we can secure him for the summer. Are you okay to go without a winger in this January transfer window? And I can expect, because Frank trusts the club, Frank trusts the board, Frank probably said something along the lines of, yes, mate. Now, we've also found out regarding the Timo Werner transfer that both Frank Lampard and Petr Cech jumped on a flight to Germany. This is absolutely incredible, by the way, and this cannot be underestimated in terms of how this will impact players' decisions to choose Chelsea in the future. It's a personal touch. When Frank Lampard and Petr Cech take the time out of their day to fly across to Germany, Nini FC was talking about this in his video, so this isn't me breaking any news here. It's a huge thing. To actually have that face-to-face contact with the agent makes so much more of a difference than jumping on the phone, sending an email to the club, or however it is that things go down these days. Meeting face-to-face, to actually sit there and look into the eyes of Timo Werner's agent to explain the vision of what Chelsea are going for, what Frank Lampard wants to create at the Blues. With Petr Cech there as well to be able to translate the German, the English, it was made very clear exactly what Frank Lampard wanted his future Chelsea side to look like, with Timo Werner being a massive part. Now, we also bring it back to the fact that Timo Werner was saying how Liverpool, it was an honour to be linked with Liverpool. I often think a lot of this is to be able to push the deal that's actually happening behind the scenes, to push it even further in case there are any stumbling blocks between both Red Bull Leipzig and Chelsea. Timo Werner flirting with Liverpool, considering things have been going on behind the scenes regarding Chelsea and RB Leipzig for a while. I believe that this was all just a little bit of a flash in the pan, even though obviously Liverpool are the best team right now in Europe. Timo Werner, it would be a bit weird, you know, if he wasn't attracted to going to Liverpool. I'd find it a bit bizarre as a footballer to not have the desire to play for the best team. So, if anything, it's going to make him a better player. Chelsea have now managed to get their man. And I definitely believe that, again, it was something behind the scenes in January where we're all sat here scratching our heads thinking, why have Chelsea overturned this ban just to not sign anybody? I definitely think there's been calculated moves behind the scenes at the football club so that Frank Lampard knew if he could get through this season, keep us in the top four, which right now we have, the high-profile signings that he wanted will be coming this summer. So sticking with that, we've obviously had Roman Abramovich come out and say that 2 marquee signings will definitely be happening this summer at Chelsea. Timo Werner, it's looking likely that the money that we're spending on Werner is the equivalent to what we are selling Morata to Atletico Madrid for. If this isn't the best business of the past 5 years, I don't know what flipping is. Marina Granovskaya, I bought a new hat today because I'm going to this party. Let me show you. I'm going to put it on just for the simple reason that putting it on my head gives me the ability to take it off. I take my hat off to Marina Granovskaya. What Chelsea are doing behind the scenes right now is genius. None of us expected it. I think that we wanted it, but we didn't think it was going to happen, particularly when players are flirting with other clubs, when Chelsea are unsure whether we're going to guarantee top 4. The boost that this is going to give the club right now, the ambition and the knowledge. This is another key thing for Chelsea finishing in the top 4. Players like Mason Mount, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Tammy Abraham, these players are going to know that signings are coming in to challenge for their places in the starting 11. So any complacency that there might have been between now and the end of the season and the beginning of next season, all of these players who have currently got the Chelsea jersey already on their back are going to be giving everything to make sure that Frank Lampard has them in the front of his plans for the start of next season. So bearing all of this in mind, Chelsea is still being heavily linked with Kai Havertz. I've decided that there are some media outlets, I'm not going to name them on here because it gives them airtime again. There are some media sources, particularly on Twitter and newspapers, who just chat absolute bollocks, and I'm not going to be giving them any more of my time of day. Fabrizio Romano, Simon Phillips, Matt Law, those 3 are the go-to journalists when it comes to reporting Chelsea news. I think what they do is absolutely fantastic, and thank you for keeping us all up to date. Kai Havertz is a genuine Chelsea target, and despite the signing of Timo Werner, it doesn't mean that Kai Havertz is out of Chelsea's reach. Bayer Leverkusen supposedly want £80 million. I think if the Havertz transfer does go through, and what we're seeing now from Chelsea, bringing it back and linking it to everything I've said in this video, we want to get business done early. We know that there are a lot of good young players, Kai Havertz probably being in the top 5 in world football right now. The man's 20 years old. He's been linked with Liverpool, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Manchester United is a key one as well. Chelsea want to go in there, get the business done early, and considering what we've seen with Hakim Ziyech and Timo Werner, I don't think anybody in world football would be very surprised if right now, as you guys are watching this video and hopefully hitting the like button because you're a bunch of flipping legends, Marina Granovskaya and Chelsea Football Club are going to be working on something to bring Kai Havertz to Chelsea. And at the end of the day, I think Chelsea are one of the clubs financially who could actually offer Havertz what he needs and what he wants. So it's up to the player. And I think, again, seeing Chelsea's ambition with confirming the Ziyech signing already, getting all of their other young players to sign new contracts, signing Timo Werner before the transfer window even opens, stuff like this is going to make Havertz look at Chelsea and think, you know what? Not only did they sell the project very well, but it's actually happening, and actions always speak louder than words, and that's something that goes with anything in life, not just football, but it goes with flipping everything. So I personally think the Havertz deal is definitely something we could see, and I certainly think it will be up to the player as to whether or not he chooses Chelsea. But looking at all of the signs, it's looking good. Mystic Benson's at it again. The other player obviously going to talk about, and Chelsea are really interested in him, it's Ben Chilwell. He's been going around for quite a while now. Ben Chilwell to Chelsea. Supposedly Chilwell has said to Brendan Rodgers that he wants the move and he wants to endorse it. Brendan Rodgers probably won't stand in his way if Chelsea cough up the extraordinary fees that we're talking about, 60 to 80 million quid. I definitely am in the boat of, if Frank Lampard wants him, I back him all the way. if he is the player that Chelsea see as the future for the left back in the Premier League, England, Chelsea, whatever it may be, I back it. But I cannot help but think that if we do go for Ben Chilwell and then it's just like 3 or 4 million here, 3 or 4 million there, to miss out on a major target going forward again, like Kai Havertz or a centre-back, it would be frustrating to have avoided a Tagliafico or an Alex Telles or a Grimaldo, one of these cheaper targets, to sign Ben Chilwell, to then miss out on alternative targets in big positions as well. I think it's looking likely, if Chelsea do go in for a Havertz, that we might see someone like Ross Barkley, potentially, or Jorginho leave the club. Going to talk about that next week in terms of players that I think might be leaving now as a result of these new signings. But we've got to remember, Chelsea still need to prioritise defence. Ben Chilwell, the left-back position, it's looking like that could be the other marquee signing. Some people are saying that Timo Werner is the first of those 2 marquee signings. I personally believe Chelsea are looking at the Werner deal as just a little steal in terms of Morata leaving, Werner coming in, and it doesn't really affect the books at all. So yeah, there's nothing more concrete for me to update you on right now on the progressions with Ben Chilwell, but Chelsea is certainly working on it behind the scenes. Kai Havertz, that's the one that I think might happen next. I'm getting excited. I'm trying not to get too carried away, but I mean, I am riding a wave today. We've just hit 100k on the channel. But as always, we don't stop here. Subscribe if you're new and you haven't already done so. Hit the like button on today's video. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you want Havertz or do you want Jadon Sancho? It's a tough one, but I do think as though Sancho could be just out of Chelsea's reach. But who knows? They're doing wonders behind the scenes right now at our football club. Yet again, I said it at the start of the video, I've been doing YouTube for 9 years, or coming up to like 9.5 years, I think. Wait, no, 2011, it's now 2020. Nearly 9 years I've been doing this. And I've hit 100,000 subscribers. I've hit 1 million on another YouTube channel. But this one, just picking the love of my life, which is Chelsea Football Club, focusing on making content around Chelsea Football Club. In less than a year, to have 100,000 of you committed to watching and listening to what I'm saying is very humbling. I am very, very grateful to have you guys here. I'm having a lot of fun with the videos right now, the tier lists and stuff like that. I wanted to address the whole transfer thing again today because it is still hot topic. But we've got 2 more weeks, I think. Wait, how many is it? They're teasing us. The 21st of June is Chelsea's first game. We have to wait. The 17th, you know how hard it's going to be to watch all those other matches knowing it could have been Chelsea? We've got a game on the 21st of June, which I'm very excited about. Chelsea Football Club, it's coming back very soon. We're flying right now. Everyone in the world is talking about us. Let's keep it that way in a good way. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.